Good evening. Just waiting for a couple more people to chime in. Sorry for the delay today. It's been a long day, and man, I get here and get all set up and hit the wrong button and ended up basically rebooting my computer. Um, virus. I mean, not virus, but the what do you call it? The updates. So ended up updating my computer. That took an extremely long period of time, and then after that, had to set everything back up. So sorry, I did not hit quite at 7 like scheduled, um, but good evening nonetheless. All right, good evening, good people. Welcome to another 203K Tuesday. My name is Aaron, the house person, and this is the place where you will find out what you don't know about the 203K loan and learn how you can use that loan to create, build, and sustain generational wealth. All right, so today, what we're going to do is go fishing. So, what does that mean, Aaron? Basically, I'm going to show you guys the process of looking for a house, right? And not just any house, right? Um, I don't know if you were here for the first episode or if you know, but I'm going to tell you because that's what I do here. 203K loan. And really, let me be more specific, the FHA loan, period. But we specifically talk about the 203K loan because of the value add that particular loan product has to offer, right? But with FHA loan, the the standards for residential real estate is again 1, 2, 3, or up to a 4 unit property. Okay, so you can get a property with up to 4 units, right? That's extremely beneficial to you. And here's how: when you purchase a property that has more space, more units, more area for just not just yourself, but more area for other people, so someone else, right? That gives you an opportunity to do what? To rent that extra space. And when you rent that extra space, there's a good chance that it will at least A, offset what you're paying per month in your mortgage, right? Potentially B, wipe out what you're paying for mortgage, right? Can actually meet that amount of your mortgage amount and basically put you at a net zero. Or the third thing, C, is pay you money per month. Um, all those things are available. If you guys are familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, I'm not sure if you are not, but if you're familiar with Robert Kiyosaki, he will tell you that your house is not an asset. Don't shoot the messenger. I'm just passing the message, right? He says your house is not an asset, and he says that because your house is not making you money. Assets put money in your pocket. Liabilities take money out of your pocket. So, from his perspective, your house is actually a liability until you go to sell it, receive money from that sale, and then it became an asset. But while you're living in it, while you're spending your money on it, while it's not putting money into your pocket, although you do have benefits as far as like tax benefits, things of that nature. I'm not a CPA and I don't play one on TV, so please check with your tax preparer. But there are discounts you can get, of course, being a homeowner compared to being a renter. But even with that, your home is still technically not an asset; it's a liability until you go to sell. Now, if you have a home with more than 1 unit in it, let's start a duplex, 2 unit, right? If that home again is at least breaking even, then you can kind of start to talk about it being an asset. Why? Because the money that you would be spending on rent or your mortgage, you actually get to keep that money in your pocket, right? So the house, in theory, even though it's a net, on paper is net, right? No gain, no loss. Um, even though you're breaking even, technically you are actually keeping money, which is almost like putting money in your pocket, right? You don't have to spend it. Um, in that scenario, that is an asset, right? And that's where we really want to be. We want to be in a situation where we have an asset. So let's say, for instance, you are first-time home buyer, right? And it really, you don't even have to be a first-time home buyer. You can be a first-time home buyer. You can be somebody who currently owns a home and wants to restructure some things. Maybe your kids are gone, older. You don't need as much space. Maybe you just want to make a drastic change to put some money in your pocket, right? To give you the ability to live life a little freer, a little with a little less stress on these shoulders, right? You can relax a little bit. Um, Multifamily property or rental property in general is a good place to look. But all right, we're gonna talk a little more, but let me go ahead and share my screen here. Pardon the technical difficulties I may or may not have. Just bear with me. Thank you ever so kindly. Let's see. Let's see what we got here. Hopefully everybody is doing all right tonight. I'm a rookie. Bear with me. All right, there we go. Log into what we call our multiple listing service, MLS. And I actually just got back from Baltimore prior to this. So in the spirit of that, and in the spirit of that's where I'm personally looking, and I know quite a few other people looking out there as well. Let's take a look at Baltimore real quick. And in the spirit of they have plenty of inventory compared to a lot of other places that do not, i.e., the DC metropolitan area. So of course you guys wouldn't have access to this system. This is what realtors use to do searches. So let's go Baltimore. Actually, let's back up. I want to go multiple types of property. So it'll give me a nice mix. Baltimore City. And let's do this real quick. Let's go to maps and see if there's a particular area that may be of interest to some folks. And again, I did just update my system, so I think it's still going through some things on the back end. Okay, because she is moving slow. Maybe I'm trying to move too fast. Yeah, she moving slow. Sorry, y'all. It's not me. This time, anyway. All right. So because I've been looking at Baltimore, I know a few areas that I consider hot zones based off of what they're doing in those areas. But we could always go with areas that people are extremely familiar with. You know, areas by the harbor, right? But let's go over by. Let's try College Town. Let's do that. Let's see what we can find over by Morgan. Oh, I had Morgan right there. Pardon. All right, so we got Lauraville, Helen, Stonewood. Let's try Laurelville. See what we can find over there. If I can get to my tab, there we go. All right. Is that actually a city? Let's see if it's a city. Make sure I'm spelling it right. Lauraville, yeah, like Laura. Okay. Sorry. That should be a subdivision, not a city. And I'm still typing in city. Not a subdivision either. Okay, let's try this one. There we go. Third time's a charm, right? I think that's what they say. So this is actually very specific. Yeah, that might be too specific. I'm gonna see one option. All right, I got another option. We're gonna go to the map. Let's go to the map and just see what we can find. And again, I'm picking Baltimore. Well, for a couple of reasons. One, I just literally came from Baltimore about an hour ago. But Baltimore has, that's way too close, a lot of things going for it right now as far as development. And it has primarily always been a great place to cash flow because the price of houses are extremely low. Um, it is what it is, right? But if you, let's try Canton. Let's see what's going on in Canton. Yeah, some rentals. All right, cause we want multifamily. I wasn't specific enough. Go add some bedrooms in here. All right, let's go 4+, so we can hopefully get some 2 bedrooms. Zoom back in. Let's just see what's going on down in this area here. Canton Park, Brewers Hill. So y'all see that, right? That's not a typo. 605,000 in Baltimore. Okay, now we're looking for. Nope, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. Let's pick a new area. Let's pick an area that doesn't have as much, has a little more. I don't like it at all. So hopefully you people are enjoying your wonderful day today. Okay. From the price order, go find some. No. So what we're looking for is property that already is more than one unit or property that can be converted to more than one unit. And either way, that puts you in a position where you are not living in a situation where you're coming out of pocket, right? That puts you in a situation where your home is your asset and not a liability. Now, let's just think as I look for a property, let's think of how powerful that can be. So let's say, for example, your child goes away to school and instead of their junior year, you're looking for an apartment for them. During their sophomore year and then really their freshman year, you start learning about the real estate market there. You start building connections with realtors, loan officers, which don't necessarily have to be local, but they may have some information as far as local programs that a national lender who isn't actually in that state may not know about, but research is research. But contractors, especially if you're doing a 203K, you got to have all that. And when your child's junior year comes around, instead of getting that apartment, like I said, you get them a unit, 2-unit duplex, triplex, or quad, right? You get them a place, or you get you a place, and they can stay in one unit for free, and then you rent the other units. Now your child or you is not worried about having to pay your rent wherever you're staying while you're in school. You can still kind of focus on just strictly going to school because you're living rent free. They're off campus, they're in a safe environment, and guess what? They can be your interim property manager. Nobody has to know that they're related to the owner, especially if you put it in the LLC name. So they can be your on-site property manager on paper, or in real life, you can actually pay your child to do it. So now they got a job. Now you're employing your child based off of you buying that property. So I mean, it's so many things you can do. We just put those thinking caps on, or just talk to other people who are already doing these types of things. I have not found a multi-unit property yet, or one that even looks like it. This is crazy. That's crazy. All right, so I'm doing okay. I'm tripping. My bad, y'all. My bad. But I don't. Okay, let me try it again because I want multis. Yeah, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, y'all. But yeah, that's one of the things that you can do with that loan, or just one of the ideas you can do. And that's 2 or 3K if you are getting a product that needs renovations. But you can just do that if you just want to straight out buy. But that is something that will be good for your child. And then when your child leaves, you can keep the property, you can gift it to them, and then that could be something for them to continue to manage from wherever they are. If they decide to stay in the area, or if they decide to move out, that sets them up early. So when they first get out of school, now they got something that's helping them pay that student loan off if they had to get the student loan. They got, I mean, it's powerful, y'all. It's powerful. But we have to get in the mindset of doing these things now. So if your children are young, or even they're in high school, it's not too late, right? They're in 12th grade, it's not too late, because you want to look at that for as they progress further along into school. But even if your child is not going to school, it's just a great thing to do if you're doing it for yourself. If you're, it's just so much, man. It's so much. I'm like, I just get kind of taken back a little bit about like the options that are available, man. And if you don't know, you don't know. So that's like really what this platform is about. It's about 2 or 3K, but it's about making sure that we know what our options are. That's it. That's all. If you know what your options are, you got a pretty good chance. Uh-oh. All right, here we go. Now we're talking, y'all. If you know what your options are, you got a pretty good chance of making a really good decision. All right, so this is an auction, December 15th. So you got a week. Okay. So we have 3 1-bedroom units here. All right. Let me hold on. So another thing, you always want to have something to write with, something to write on. So we got 3 1-bedroom units. We will call that a 3-1s on that auction. So always read the details. And if you notice, and this is for folks who are searching, right? You guys, this is the public remarks. You guys see one set of remarks. We see another set. Sometimes they're exactly identical, and sometimes they're different, right? But that's just food for thought. So if your agent ever tells you, hey, what I saw was this, just believe your agent. All right. Okay. telling you this thing to 10,000 credit card hold. So okay, good information. Unit 1 is vacant, which is very important because in order to buy FHA property, in order to buy a property, multi-unit property with FHA loan, you need to have at least 1 unit vacant, or the tenant needs to pledge that they are leaving within 60 days and you are moving in within 60 days. And I'm doing this for a reason, but we can talk about that offline. But it does have 1 unit that is vacant, unit 1. Tenant previously paid $1,200 in that unit. So, okay, that's good information to know. So the rent was $1,200 prior to. Let's see. All right, looks like we have 2 vacant units. Tenant previously paid $1,100 for that unit, and unit 3, $850. And there is someone currently in unit 3. All right. Okay, so that's good. So if I do the quick math, if this building was fully rented, it looks like, based off of previous, because you actually can increase, but based off of previous rents, we have $2,050, $3,050, $3,150 per month if the tenant pays on time like they're supposed to. All right. So that's good information. So 726 reservoir. So the thing that you want to do, and I'm gonna open another screen here, just make life a little easier for me. The thing that you want to do, and actually you probably can't do this, right? But you want to see what the comps are. What other buildings are selling for in that area? This one's a multi, sorry. Multi. Actually, I'm gonna do everything. I just want to see everything. I want to see rents, everything in that particular area. I want coming soon, which means it's about to hit the market. Active on the contract means it's still active, but they have a contract, but they are still accepting more, kind of as backups. Pending means it's fully under contract. All of the contingencies have been satisfied, and they look like they are moving forward to the sale. All right, so this is the activity in that part of town. So let's just kind of see what's going on. Yep, he messed that up. In the words of Marvin Gaye, what's going on? I'm sorry, y'all. This new laptop I have only has 1 USB port. So I have the microphone plugged up, but cannot plug up the mouse. So I don't like these pads. But that's what I'm working with tonight. All right. So like we got a little bit of that. 1 point. Okay, so okay. Wow. Oh, that's commercial. All right. Let's do this. Let's go back. All right. Multi, and multi again. I'm going to keep all those. Kept one that I shouldn't. So let's go back and look at this real quick. So we don't know how recent the units were rented, but we can always find out from the listing agent, who can find out from the seller. But these look to be okay. No countertop. Needs a little work. So you see they added central air. You got ducts on the floor and the ceiling. Interesting. Huh. Not the prettiest bathroom. Could use a little bit of attention. That carpet is okay. No comment. It's functional. All in all, Okay, you got half a door situation right there. Basement looks nice and dry. You have 4 meters, so 3 for the units and 1 extra one, which is covering the shared space, right? So that part is what the landlord will be responsible for, and the tenants are responsible for their own electricity. I only see 1 hot water heater, which may mean there's 1 for the entire structure. And if that's the case, I would say that that is an undersized hot water heater for 3 units. I would definitely recommend a larger one, unless they have individual ones in their units that we can't see here. Aha, so there's more hot water heaters. All right, so we're good. Looks like there are 3 individual hot water heaters. That is phenomenal. That's what we want. Everybody have their own. So A.L. Smith. I need glasses, y'all. I'm gonna get them one day. One day soon, you'll see. Huh. That looks a little shaky. Up here is the AC. It looks like the AC has been replaced, but the heating portion, it does not look like it has been replaced. So again, just information to know, unless you know what units, 1, 2, 3, and then that's the public space. So it's gas. So it's separately metered all the way around. That fire escape is interesting, but it's there. That's horrible, but this is a chance to maybe have a value add. Maybe you clear that out, depending on how wide the lot is. That might not be very functional. So I was going to say make parking spaces. They can come in at an angle, but maybe not. Maybe you just have that as space for your tenants to just go out back and enjoy themselves. I don't know. All right, so that one again is an auction. So typically with auctions, the starting price is 150. It's not going to be 150. It's going to end up selling for more than that, especially when you see the situation with the neighbors. So let's take a look at what else is going on around there. So this one, a little different layout. It closed at 258. This one is 3 2-bedrooms. Okay. 3 units each. One is vacant. Bed paint taste. Man. Wow. Okay. So I'm kind of letting y'all in on a little bit because I actually just sort of stumbled on this area Saturday, driving around up there, and decided, you know what, it looks like some really large houses over there. Let me go take a look. Turns out that some of those singles are actually 3 units, and that's what I'm looking for. You know, more than 1 unit. Yeah, this one needs a little work. 187. But there's people in there, so that's a good thing. So that's 3 1-bedroom units, 187. I would say that one, that's an auction. Okay. And it closed at 187. So, I mean, who knows? You may have a chance to pick up a nice property for the low. All right. So let's do this real quick. Let's go to 2 things. So one of the things I'd use to gauge fair market rents, right? I go to HUD. It's not the 100% truth as far as fair market rents, but it's what HUD say they will pay. So just Google HUD fair market rents, or if you can't remember that, you could always just say HUD rents. Let's see what pops up. Right. So just remember HUD and rents, HUD fair market rents, anything like that. That combination, it should get you to where you're looking for. Click that link there. Scroll on down. As soon as the computer decides to load up, thank you, computer. Click here, as it says. You're going to pick your state. And again, we're talking about all 50 states, but we're also talking about places like Puerto Rico, right? The territories as well. If you are looking, guess what, y'all? Here's a little thing that you may not have thought of. If you want to buy a house in Puerto Rico, you can, because it's American territory, and the process is still the same. Guess what? If you wanted to buy a house in the Virgin Islands, You can. Guess what? If you wanted to buy a 3-unit, if they have them, I haven't checked, but a 3-unit, say you bought a 3-unit or a duplex or a quad, right, in Puerto Rico. And again, I'm saying, look, we got to get outside the box, right? Say you bought a 3 or 4-unit in Puerto Rico, and maybe it's not on the beach, but it's close enough. You keep 1 unit for yourself for vacation. You put a tenant in there that may be on some type of subsidy, so you got guaranteed money come in every month on the 1st, no later than the 5th, no matter what, right? Check's not going to bounce. And then you say, you know what? Let me put a market tenant in here as well, because I may can get a little more than what the voucher is going to pay me or the subsidy is going to pay me, right? And then the last one, you say, you know what? I'm going to Airbnb the last one, so that way I can scale my money as I see fit, because if it's a really good season, I can pay a little more money. Charge a little more money. People will pay a little more money than, off season. So, if we get outside of what we're thinking about and what we know, just talk to some people, man. You really can find out some really good information. I'm kind of going in overtime a little bit, which is okay for me, because I started a little late due to, anyway, I don't want to revisit that. But all right, let's go to Baltimore, because we are, or Maryland rather, because that's where we're working with, Baltimore City. Next screen. And it's going to tell you what HUD roughly, or the maximum rather, what HUD will pay per bedroom. So this particular unit, HUD 1 bedroom. So HUD is going to pay this year up to $1,105. Next year is projected that they'll pay up to $1,115. So we already know that the unit was paying, or someone was paying $1,200 and someone was paying $1,100. So, fair market, it's about right, roughly. Because there are instances where this is completely off whatsoever. But that's what housing is willing to pay. So let's just say you put a voucher tenant in there, and you were able to get $1,000 or $1,100, right? The $1,100. So that checks off the one unit, that the one of the vacants, because you got 2 vacants. Now, one of them you have to keep vacant for yourself. For 12 months, you're supposed to live in the house for 12 months, a calendar year. Well, not a calendar year, but for 12 months, consecutive months. And what you do with that 12-month period is your business, right? If you live in it for 12 months, that's your business. If you don't live in it for 12 months, that's your business as well. And that's all I'm going to say about that. Look between the lines. All right. But let's just say you decide, you know what? I thought I was going to live there, but now I don't think I am. And you just happen to put another tenant in the other vacant unit, so you got a fully leased building. Let's also just say the tenant who's in there paying $850, you're able to, well, not you're able to, they decide they want to leave because they are not okay with the rent increase at the end of the lease. And now you have 3 units, and let's be conservative. You have 3 units that are making $1,150. Pull out my pencil here, and I got to do the math. I don't do that, but that's what they used to do, right? All right, so we got $3,450 per month. All right, so let's do this now. All right, let me back up. So let's just say this closes, because we saw one that closed at 187. It's a little different layout, but it closed at 187. And let me go and see 336. Well, that's nice. How many bedrooms? 3 1-bedrooms. So this is what you need to know, right? Even though they're different units, different sizes, things of that nature, this is what we call a comp, a comparable. It may not be completely apples to apples from the standpoint of the aesthetics, meaning the look of it. Haven't checked the square footage of the units. 224, 36, 26. So this one's actually if this holds true, this one's actually a larger building. So each unit is actually a little larger than this building with the 2436. So what does that mean, Aaron? That means that it's a good chance if, let's check out the condition though. We got to see condition. I mean, I don't see too much fancy going on right here. I really don't. Let's go back to this stove. It's nice. It's really nice. Oh, man. All right. Oh, that's authentic. I like those. I would keep that. I honestly would. Even with the reno, I would keep it. Speaking of reno, in Baltimore, they have what's called the CHAP tax credit. I don't know everything about it verbatim, but basically, if you keep certain features in the house that were original to the house, they will give you a tax credit for keeping the house intact, basically, for keeping that originality in place as you renovate other areas of the house. And again, I don't know the exact details of everything about that, but basically what that means is you can save some money, right? Or you can pass that savings on to somebody else if you were a flipper, but we're not talking about that today. So looking at this property, I mean, I really don't see anything fancy here. Sorry if I'm scrolling too quickly. All right, would you keep it? Be honest. Keep it? No? Yes? You got all that extra space underneath? Huh? Look at that. Okay. So we would renovate that. That would be something we would renovate prior to putting our tenant in there. We would make that like more of a modern kitchen. Look at the light up there. I love what I do. Okay. All right. So look, listen and look. And it's right. Oh, it's right next to the bathroom with the clawfoot tub. Okay. Okay. Who wouldn't want to live here? Huh? Talk to me. All right. Don't stop playing. So here's an example of what you can do in the backyard of the other space. Make it something that's inviting for your tenants, a little oasis for them to get away to after a hard day at work, or at least something to look at outside. But all right, so this one was 336, and I didn't see anything fancy about it. So let's just be conservative and let's just say the value of the house, right? The appraised value. Let's just say the appraised value would come in at 300,000. And I'm pulling that number kind of out of the sky. Let me go look at another one first. So 213, all right. That's pending. We don't know what it's going to close at. So this is two units and 1 3 unit. This is a much larger house, 1,000 square foot larger. 36, yep. And I mean, excuse me. We go total, but I just did above grade right now. And that's at 213. Let's go to the remarks. Fantastic opportunity to own a 3 to 4 unit apartment home in this historic Reservoir Hill. This large in-unit townhome consists of 3 apartments. Da, 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 da. Okay, so sale is subject to a 5% buyer's premium. So 5% buyer's premium, also known as a hammer price, right, is what's tacked on top of the actual sales price. So let's say you get this unit that we were originally looking at for 200,000. Well, let's say 200,000. Let's do some math here. Actually, let's say we get it for 175. I ain't gonna say we get it for 175, but let's just say, and then we throw in another 50 for renovations. So we have 175 plus 50,000 equals 225. And again, let's just say the value comes in at 300,000. So in that particular scenario, you are looking at $75,000 of equity, which is basically money in the bank, provided the value of the home is still that amount, right? But Equity is the difference between what you owe and what the perceived value of your home is. And I say perceived because that changes. It depends on what type of market we're in. If we're in an up market, the perceived value is higher. If it's a lot of people trying to buy that house and they're competing, then the value of that house is going to be a little larger because the competition is driving the price up, right? But to kind of wrap things up, this particular property, 3-unit, you living in one. Let's say you live in one, not even living in both. Let's just say you live in one and you get the 2,300, 2,300, and you live in one for a year, and you're getting 2,300. So we go right here. It's a bank rate, and I'm not even gonna. So what you could do is mortgage calculator. I prefer bank rate, but I don't want you to remember names because you might not prefer bank rate. But mortgage calculator, bank rate, first one. I don't want any parts of that. Thank you. Please move add. Sorry. Technology is not treating me well today. All right. So we said the home, including the renovation, is $225. You need a 2 and a 20 in front of that. $225, right? It's an FHA loan, so we're required to put down 3.5%. Let's go back and see what the taxes are, so we can kind of. So they're saying the taxes are $54.77. Calculator. You want to take that number. Technology is killing me. So 54.77. Take that number divided by 12. And you'll get what your approximate taxes are per month. So we're going to round it up to 457. 457. Let's just say you pay a little more for homeowners insurance because you got, let's just say 100 a unit. And I'm just throwing that number out there, but I'd rather estimate high than estimate low. All right. So your principal and interest. So your principal is the amount of money you borrowed. The interest is the amount they charge you for the amount of money that you borrowed. Homeowners insurance is what, homeowners insurance to cover the replacement of the property, not the things in the property, but the structure itself. Property tax, what you pay your good uncle. And there's no HOA fees. So based off of this estimate, we're looking at interest rate. And then, let me change the interest rate because maybe your credit is not the greatest, right? So let's go with 4.5. And right now, interest rates are, of course, at historic lows. So 4.5, maybe a little high. But again, I'd rather estimate high and the number be lower than estimate low. And you're like, man, Aaron said, All right, so we're looking at 1857. So if my math serves me correctly, go back to our trusty calculator here, clear that out, all clear. And we said just for those 2 units, 2,300 minus 18, I think it was 57, wasn't it? Yes, 1857, which leaves you with $443 per month. Go get that Tesla, y'all. Okay, I'm kidding. No, but seriously, that's money in your pocket, right? But let's just say you are staying somewhere right now, right? Let's just say you're staying somewhere. Let's say you're staying anywhere in the DC metropolitan area, and your rent is for that one bedroom. How much is your rent for that one bedroom? Huh? How much you paying? You paying a lot, right? So let's just say you paying $1,200. Let's say you paying 1,000. Now, because you purchased a property, you're no longer paying that 1,000. So that money goes back into your pocket. So where it looks like you were making 443 on the cash flow, you're technically making 1,443 because you're no longer paying rent where you were before, right? If you were paying rent. If you weren't, of course, you're going back down to the original number of 443. But you can add whatever you're paying wherever you are on top of that cash flow because that's the money that's staying in your pocket. Now, is that something that can change your life? I like to say yes. I like to think you would say yes as well because 14 extra $100 per month. How would that really change your life? It's a question that you have to answer yourself, but what I'm here to tell you guys is it's very possible. Now, we haven't even talked about a lot of other aspects as far as like the construction costs, things of that nature, but I want to give you an overall example of what you can do when you have the information, right? So again, that's what we're here for. That's why I'm here. I'm here to give you guys the information so you can be informed and empowered. Our whole thing is about creating, building, and sustaining generational wealth. And this is one of the best vehicles for you to do so. Now, some of you may be thinking, oh man, and I'm about to wrap up. Some of you may be thinking, oh man, look, you went to HUD, you talking about the vouchers, things of that nature. Listen, my first rental is in Capitol Heights, Maryland, and Seat Pleasant, to be specific, right? My wife and I, we've had 5 tenants there. Of the 5, 3 have been tenants with the voucher. If we were to rank, well, not even if, we ranked our tenants in order. And the top 3, because you know you only get prizes for the top 3, but the top 3 all held a voucher. The other 2 who were market rent tenants actually got evicted. One was after like 2 months, and another one I think was like 4.5 months, something like that. So I don't have a problem with vouchers. Not me. I don't have a problem with people with vouchers. So do your own research. Don't believe all the horror stories you hear. And in most cases, the reason those stories are so horrible is because the people decided to neglect the property. They were getting their monthly check and didn't show back up until the tenant moved out. That's your fault. That's their fault. You need to check on the property, regardless of who's in the property. But the one thing I like about the vouchers, and a lot of people right now, or any type of subsidy, because there's other programs out there. You have people who are displaced due to fire. An insurance company will pay the rental for them. You have veterans. You have people, single mothers in programs. There are a lot of subsidized programs out there, so it doesn't necessarily have to be housing Section 8 per se. But I'm here to tell you, I have no problem with housing or Section 8. I had no problems with those tenants. We had a good time. Between a good relationship rather, and they moved on. But don't just believe all the doom and gloom, the horror stories that you hear, because there's opportunity if you do the research, if you take a step further and listen to everybody and then go find out for yourself. I found out for myself. So folks, today we did a little bit of fishing, right? You can do these things yourself. You can take these steps. You can pull up the calculator. You can go find mortgage calculator, go on bank rate, right? And put in the numbers and see how much it's going to cost you. You can go to, you can Google HUD Fair Market Rents and find out how much houses cost wherever you are, right? Or what HUD would pay in rent wherever you are. So let's just for kicks and giggles, go to DC. You saw what Baltimore paid, right? Let's go to DC and see what housing is paying in DC. Dun, 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 dun. All right, and they broke it down by zip codes here recently. But if you're in that zip code there, for 1 bedroom is $2,130. Listen, people, listen. This is opportunity. If you don't get anything else, just know that there's opportunity. If you need help, I'm here to help you. Give me a call, send me an email, shoot me a text. Whatever works for you works for me. All right. In closing, I just want you guys to know that you can do it. There's no reason you can't. Um, Maybe you don't want to do it in Baltimore. That's fine. Pick another area. Uh, but you can do it. No matter what you think, you can do it. Just surround yourself with people that will guide you through that process. Process. I like saying it that way. BBC News. Don't judge me. But you can get it done, y'all. Like you really can. And I am here to help. So if you have any questions, you can give me a call at 844 yes 203K. And again, my name is Aaron, the house person. I am the program director of the 203K Done Your program, where we actually economically rehabilitate the community one house at a time, and we do so by educating you about the 203K process. And again, this is 203K Tuesday, where you learn everything you don't know. You find out everything you don't know about the 203K loan, and then you learn how you can use that loan to create, build, and sustain generational wealth. That's really all I got for y'all today. I thank y'all for hanging in for the overtime. Again, apologize for being a little bit late. I will be on for sure. Make sure I got all my updates and everything squared away, good to go prior to. But I will be back next 203K Tuesday at 7 o'clock sharp. I will see you guys then. Thank you for tuning in. Be sure to like, subscribe, share, and ring that bell. Thanks for watching.